On today's hot sheet, I'm discussing a record. It's a record rate of home purchase cancellations in August. New record set. September price cuts happening and mortgage applications for the past week. Today, Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. I am Byron Lazine, and the hot sheet starts now. Live from Connecticut. We've got a new record. Typically, you hear record in real estate, some type of a banner stat. It feels good. Not this one. We're going to start with a record that continues to move up at to me, a rate that's it needs a lot of consideration. I know agents are feeling it. It's creating uncertainty. We'll start there in just a minute. Love to know wherever you may be, where you're tuning in from here in the live chat. Thank you for joining us, spending some time here on the hot sheet, whether you're live or listening later. All the replays are uploaded to Spotify and Apple. If you love the hot sheet, love for you to consider leaving a review on one of the two audio platforms. Make sure you're subscribed here to the channel so you don't miss these updates, all of the content that we put out here at BAM. Really appreciate you guys spending the time here with me. So let's kick it off. Home buyers right now, this is Redfin News. We saw the report earlier this summer. The record was set. The record's already broke. It's like that summer when, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire, like one would set the record, then the other one would set the record. Then they'd just go back and forth on breaking the home run record. It's like every month a new record is set, and it's not a good record. Just like those records weren't good. They were marred by steroids. This record isn't good either. Home buyers canceling deals at a record rate. All right, 56,000 U.S. home purchase agreements were canceled in August. That's good for 15.1% of homes that went into contract last month. Okay, so it's the highest August percentage in the records that Redfin keeps, dating back to 2017. Buyers frequently backing out of deals when they find issues during the inspection. This is common right now. I talk to a lot of agents. This is common. This is common across markets. Buyers get into the inspection, find issues, and they're done. Or they can't make sense of the deal, or the seller can't make sense of giving them any more benefit in the deal. They have trouble selling their existing home potentially, or financing falls through. So you got some of these issues. I'm hearing it from all different agents across all kinds of markets, particularly with the inspection. I think buyers right now, when they go in, buy a house, and then they kind of sit on it. It's like, man, there wasn't much competition in the way of me buying this house. Like, things have changed. It's not 2022 anymore. I didn't feel any heat on me when I was looking and negotiating. Like, I was able to get this house pretty easily. Okay. What's my opportunity to get more? How can I get a little extra? How can I feel good about the deal? Well, it's during that inspection period. And that's where they start to negotiate or find things to negotiate, true issues in the home that spook them out. And the sellers are saying, wait a minute, like, I really don't even have to sell. I've got a 3% more, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to take this. And when you have a situation where you don't have a strong agent working for what's best for the deal and the clients, the two agents on each side working together, these deals blow up. A lot of agents are blowing these deals up, just saying, hey, my client wants out. I'm going to do what is best for my client. Is it best for your client? You've been looking for 6 months. They finally identified a home that checks the boxes, gets them out of paying somebody else's mortgage, and then you're making a decision to get emotionally struck in the middle of the deal with the other agent and saying, hey, I'm doing what's right. You're doing what you're told as an order taker. Deals that are staying together are the two agents that get their hands dirty together, work through it, and do the hard work of keeping a deal together. Roughly 1 out of 7 U.S. home purchases are getting canceled right now. Excuse me. Pending U.S. home sales that fell out of contract during the month of August, just going back to 2017, 15.1% in August. It's a new record. 14.3% was the August number last year. That's 1 out of 7 home purchases. I'd also know your own numbers. Okay. Are you trending at 15%? That's the national trend. Are you a little bit higher? Like in the Northeast, you might be higher. The inventory is really tight. Buyers are they're having to overpay in the Northeast or pay a premium would be a better way to say it. And you got old inventory. Okay. So you got more inspection problems. Like you might be closer to 16, 17, 18% if you're in the Northeast. If you're in a state that doesn't, contractually doesn't let a lot of wiggle room on the inspection or what have you, then maybe you should be lower than the 15%. Understand where your business is. How many of your purchases are getting canceled? Might be an opportunity for improvement there, or just, why is that? Is that a local dynamic? Is that a you factor? Is that a skill set factor? Home buyers often back out of deals due to inspection issues. Okay. Here are the reasons. 70% home inspection, repair issues. Now, often I find that when it's home inspection or repair issues, it's a lack of an agent having any understanding on what the next home that they're going to buy is really going to cost them to get it to the level of their expectations. There is a real blind spot with some agents out there on what things cost. They've never done a renovation project. They haven't been involved with one. The last time they renovated their kitchen was never, because it's their landlord's kitchen. So these are things that if a consumer is working with the wrong agent, they get some really wacky advice. Understanding these costs. I mean, everybody here on the hot sheet, we get this. Like, we got to understand the numbers. We got to understand the cost. Backing out of this deal because we might have a $5,000 repair or reno on our hands is probably not a strong enough reason to back out if we're not getting anything else from the seller versus what can we get in the market. High inventory market, obviously, you might have a little bit more success with that. So 70% of the time, it's the inspection. They can't see themselves moving forward with whatever the issue is, or they're using it to obviously get out of the deal anyways. I think there's also just a lack of some listing agents identifying issues up front. Okay. Like, this isn't the market to cross your fingers and just let's see how it goes when we get under contract. Okay. 2021 was a long time ago. All right. If you want to go back in time to 21, well, it's not happening. So back then you could say, well, I don't know, the buyer's going to want it so bad, we'll just see what happens. That's not today. Financing, we're seeing right now up near a 30% clip of reasons why buyers or a deal falls out of contract. Okay. Buyer unable to sell the current home. That's up to 21%. When you're accepting a deal attached to a sale on the other end, really important to understand the dynamics of that one, of course. Buyer found another property that they liked better, 13%. Concerns about the economic climate, 12.2%. The government shutdown. Oh, no. Might need to back out of my deal. The government is fighting again. Who would have guessed? The seller backed out, 11.5% low appraisal, insurance, and then just the high mortgage rates. That's your top reasons there for home buyers backing out of deals. You can check out all the slides, all the data that I share with you right here in the Hot Sheet Classroom on School. BAMX members, just go to Hot Sheet Classroom. We just did a big onboarding on walking members through the platform here on School, but go to the Hot Sheet Classroom. All of the slides that I use on every single Hot Sheet show are right here for you, as well as the Hot Sheet show notes down at the bottom, how we make the cake for each and every single show. Okay. Moving on, Realtor.com. They've got their September 2025 monthly housing market trends report. It's out. So this is a big report. It's lengthy. It's on all the housing trends, and some of the key features include inventory. Right now, the gains on inventory, but how growth is slowing. We talk about that every single Monday. I think it's over. I think inventory gains are over for the year. I'm just projecting that based on what we've seen the last 6 weeks. We're not going to see more inventory gain. We're now in the decline portion of inventory, less options. There'll be less competition. And if you're an investor trying to look for a deal, I always like December, but I think there's going to be limited options out there. That inventory growth that we thought was going to happen in September didn't happen. And now October showing the same signals of growth just slowing way down. Active divide widens on kind of, how the Northeast and the Midwest versus the South and the West, Southwest versus Northeast and Midwest, how those are all reacting. There's a huge divide there. All right, let's start with the active listing count. Realtor.com has the number pretty close to what Altos has. We look at on Mondays, 17% up year over year on active listings. Now, this number was up over 30%. So, yeah, we got more listings than we had last year. Realtor.com puts us at 1.1 million. This includes, condos and everything like that. When we look at the number on Mondays, it's just single family homes, but 1.1 million, 17% up year over year. The gap was up near 30 or 30+% at one point this year. So we flattened out as opposed to what we did last year, where we kept accelerating during this time. So active listing count out, but the growth has completely decelerated. Here's where inventory is moving the fastest. It's the West at 21.1%. It's the South at 17.9%. Okay, the Midwest and the Northeast are lagging behind, 13 and 10% respectively. Okay, if you look at the 10 largest metros with year-over-year inventory, it's DC. Okay, so shutdown is on and the inventory is up in DC. Las Vegas at 40.8% and Baltimore at 39, basically 40% there. Markets relative to the pre-pandemic that have the greatest increase. Pre-pandemic numbers. Okay, Denver's up 60%, San Antonio's up 50%, and Austin's up 47%. Those are huge numbers. The ones that have not recovered from pre-pandemic who are in the worst inventory situation relative to pre-pandemic would be Hartford, Connecticut, just 45, 50 minutes from where I'm sitting today here on the Connecticut shoreline, down 75%. Chicago is down 57% in Chicago. I mean, think back to 2020, the story of Chicago. Now all of a sudden you can't find a place in Chicago. Okay. Providence down 55%. So 2 out of 3 in the Northeast, 1 in the Midwest. Shows you Northeast, Midwest still finding a struggle on inventory growth. Here's where it's growing overall. Here's a good dot plot. We know the Fed loves their dot plots. Here's a Realtor.com dot plot on locations where inventory is growing the most. You got the Vegas, DC's, Baltimore's. Raleigh is moving up and in the right direction. And those not moving in the right direction would be, Hartford, Chicago, New York City, and these types of places. So, um, pending home sales now on, according to Realtor.com. We'll take a look at that, but first let's take a look at newly listed homes. So new listings, we talked about this on Monday too, down 1.2% year. Like we're just not getting sellers to enter the market at any reasonable rate that we would point to as normal. These are historically low numbers. Last year was the lowest number historically recorded on newly listed homes. We're challenging that this year. Sellers see the cancellations. They see the picky buyers. They see that buyers are complaining that everything is unaffordable. The sellers have TikTok too. It's not just buyers who want to complain or heart that person who's a housing doomer. So listen, I get it. Homes are very expensive. It's unfortunate. The government printed all this money. It is what it is. You're not going to fix the problem overnight. I'd love to find more solutions. I'm supportive of them. I'm supportive of inventory that makes sense in certain geographical locations and that can be priced accordingly. I'm in support of all of that, as I know many of you are. The reality is the seller, 41% of which don't even have a mortgage, the seller, many of which are baby boomers and own control 1/7 of the world's wealth. I don't think it's a bad thing either that American baby boomers have a lot of money. I think that's a good thing. The reality, though, is, listen, you're just not going to get a lot of newly listed homes. What's the motivation? To deal with a cancellation or a buyer who's going to pin me down during inspection? I'll just keep the deal. And that's where sellers are at right now. That's the conversation for sellers. That's the conversation at the dinner table when you're not there. It's, I think we'll just keep waiting. I don't like what I see out there. I mean, listen, if you can leave your house at any time and it's pouring and sleeting and hailing for the next hour, but it's going to be sunny the rest of the day, when are you leaving? Okay. I mean, I got to take a 15-minute walk or I'm not going to survive today. Well, in the afternoon, it's going to be beautiful for the next 3 hours. It's hailing and raining buckets. I think I'll wait for the afternoon. Sellers will just wait. Okay. Newly listed homes per region: Northeast up 1.3%, Midwest up 2.4%. Those are up because inventory is down. Sellers see an opportunity to dictate terms. Where they can't dictate terms, South and West, September new listings are down. They're losing motivation. I'll wait. Metros with the strongest growth in newly listed homes: Indianapolis, Charlotte, and Detroit, all near double digits. Indianapolis above double digit sales. All right, so percentage. Pending home sales, I mentioned that. Just want to get into it really quick. Total listings, this includes both homes for sale and those under contract, posted a 13% year-over-year increase. So if you go total listing counts, 13% up. When you include not only the actives, which we looked at before, but homes for sale and under contract, that's 13% year-over-year increase. That's a 22-month streak of being up, but it is slightly down since June. While inventory was up, buyer activity more subdued. I'm seeing activity on both here for the fourth quarter being a little bit subdued. Increase your guys. I mean, if you're an agent right now on the hot sheet, increase your conversations. That's where the conversion is going to be. If you're seeing both buyers kind of step back in the market and sellers being hesitant, both parties are saying, we're going to continue to wait each other out. It's just an increase on conversation. If you want to convert more in the fourth quarter, that's where it all is going to be. All the success is going to be right in the middle of those conversations. Pending home sales listings under contract, those are flat year over year. Median days on market. Homes spent 7 more days on the market in September versus last September. So pricing the home to go onto the market in October is going to be a lot different than what the July comps suggest. Okay, it's taking a little bit longer. There's less buyers. People are all ready to put the pumpkins away and get into the end of the year holidays. Like, I'm sorry, but that's when there's an uncertain economy, people want to break out the old Christmas tree. It'll make them feel better about themselves. So people are going to rush to comfort here at the end of the year with all of the uncertainty. And I think days on market increases through the end of the year. Be prepared for what's in front of you. What's your windshield look like, not your rear view mirror. The rear view mirror of the market is not indicative of what you're going to be faced with here over the fourth quarter. Okay. The West is up 10 days on market. South is up 8. Midwest and Northeast, they're up, but not as bad. 3 in 1 day. Okay. Relative to pre-pandemic, 10 days slower in the West, 3 days faster in the South. So South, hey, all the inventory you got, good news is you're moving faster than you were pre-pandemic. Midwest, 13 days faster than pre-pandemic. And the Northeast is just still ripping at 22 days faster than pre-pandemic times. Among the 50 largest U.S. metros, 45 saw homes linger longer than last year. 45 of 50. It took longer to sell than last year. Okay. Some of the highlights there: Miami, 16 days, Orlando, 14, Riverside, California is 13 days, Vegas, 13, Tampa, 13 days. Okay. Here are your fastest and slowest housing markets, according to Realtor.com. Again, the Miamis and the Tampas, they're taking a long time. Where the Milwaukees, the Bostons, the New York City, it's taking less time on those cities, Northeast, Midwest cities relative to the obviously to the inventory. Median listing price right now, according to Realtor.com, $425,000. Price is flat year over year, but down 4% since June. Okay, so the seasonal move down is happening, but essentially we're just moving sideways on price since last year. Here's regional list price patterns. Northeast down 0.4, Midwest flat, South down 0.4, and the West down 3.6 on those median prices. Adjusting for a change in home sizes, price per square foot really showcases these regional differences. Northeast price per square foot is up 3.1%. Midwest up 1.2%, while the South and the West are in the negatives. Price cuts are elevated. We've been talking about this on Mondays. So you've got a price reduced share coming in at 20%, up 1.2% year over year. Going back to September in 24, it's down slightly since June. Northeast, it's less. It's 14% of the listings are reducing. Midwest, just under 20%. South and West, both over 20% on these reductions. Okay. Percent of listings with price cuts by price tier in 7 different buyer markets and the national average. This is a good one. I think we've got this one. Check school. See if this chart's in school. I'm going off of the other platform, Haley, but I'd love to see if you're in Miami, Austin, Orlando, New York, Jacksonville, Tampa, to Riverside, download it, grab this from school. If you're a BAMX member, it's got the national average there. That national average is another one. Talking to a seller about, hey, what do we want to avoid? We want to avoid what the other sellers have shown us as a trend, which is reducing price if you go out at the wrong price. Okay. Look at Austin. Every price category is reducing price. Yeah, this one's in school. Go grab it. BAMX members is a really good one. Austin, everything's near 30% except for over $1 million. Interestingly, is only at 20% of reductions. If we look nationally here, we're at 20% under 350,000, 350 to 500,000, 500 to 750,000. We're all at 20% of sellers have to reduce. You get into those higher price points, 750 to $1 million, it's less than 20, and over $1 million, it's actually less than 15 on reductions. So considering, what price category you're in, what's the competition doing, a market similar to yours. In New York, where there's less inventory, they're just not reducing price. It's 10% or less in every single price category. Okay. Really interesting stuff. Tells you a lot about what to expect over the last 3 months. If you're going to put your house on the market and just go based on the comps, you're going to likely be ending up in a scenario where you're cutting along with them, as opposed to coming in under that price, creating a more attractive invitation for buyers. Okay. More data on that can be found right inside of School for BAMX members. Go to school.com/BAMX to join us in the number one community that helps you close more deals. Okay. Build your brand, generate leads, close more deals. That's what BAMX is all about. We got a full community there where you can get referrals, join the general discussion, help each other. And then inside of our classroom, we have new content every single week designed for you, hyper local content, a whole bunch of it. It's the BAM team that designs it. Eric, the broke agent, our writers, Bobby from the video team, Jill, our creative director. The same way they create the BAM content, that's how they create the content here. Friday drops every single week. Ton of content at your fingertips. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is get it up. Hot sheet every single day that we do the hot sheet, upload all of the slides that we're using in the hot sheet, as well as the show notes directly for you. And then in our calendar tab, hey, join us on things like today, 3 p.m. Eastern, social media audits, profile optimization. It's Eric, the broke agent, and Bobby Kowecki had a video here at BAM. They're personally doing the audits live with you today at 3 p.m. Eastern. On Tuesdays, we do live role play masterminds. Myself, Tom Toole, Lisa Chinati. It's all happening inside of BAMX, school.com/BAMX. By the way, you guys can grab BAMX and try it out for the next 7 days for free. So we've opened that up for trial run for you for the next 7 days. Just go to school.com/BAMX. Link down below. Borrowers right now, mortgage applications, we're going to take a look at that. But also, if you notice this morning, headline CNBC, mortgage borrowers are heading back to riskier mortgages. Have you seen this in your market? Are lenders promoting a more risque product right now? They're looking for potential savings. Makes sense. How do I make it work? Okay. The average contract interest rate for the 30-year fixed mortgage home decreased from 6.43 from 6.46. ARMs, though. Okay. Listen, you either lived it like I did and you were in it, or you watched The Big Short. Okay. But either way, you know what an ARM is, an adjustable rate mortgage. That share increased to 9.5% from last week, up from 8.4% from the prior week. ARMs have changed, but the core of the product, hey, it's an adjustable rate. That number is going up. That's interesting. Applications for a mortgage to purchase a home fell 1%. The 14%, we're going to dig into that in just a second. The overall mortgage demand is weakening 2 weeks in a row. That's expected time of year. I'm totally cool with it. I don't expect, October, November, December, mortgage applications to be moving up outside of a low 6 or a 5 handle on those rates. The rates fell slightly, but they didn't fall enough. And, the Fed kind of or Jerome Powell rather kind of stopped the momentum with his uncertain commentary that he came out with after reducing the Fed fund rate, previously just a couple weeks ago. So interesting that these higher risk loans are up, just something to watch for. We'll monitor it here on the hot sheet. Stay aware of that. Mortgage applications overall here on the year change week over week. Purchase down 1.3%, refinance down 20%. Year over year, the purchases still remain up in double digits, almost 16%, as do refinances up over 16%. Okay, there's your mortgage applications according to Mortgage Banker Association, and outline there on Mortgage News Daily for you. We're starting the day here today on a 10-year watch at basically right where it's been in recent memory, 4.119. This is kind of the high side of the last 30 days, but relatively low side on the last 90, keeping rates right around 6 3/8 territory. We're at 6.38 2 days in a row in the 30-year fixed mortgage. We have a Fed watch happening right now. 21 days will be the next Fed FOMC meeting. 94.6% chance of a cut is what CME Group is projecting. There is a 5% chance that there will be no cut coming in 21 days. In less than 21 days, if you missed me at BAM Camp and you want to come hang out and hear me at the Fusion Rally, we've got it happening in 14 days. I'm going to be at the Fusion Rally in Denver, Colorado. This is October 24th, Fusion Rally 2025. Use the code BZ25. You get a deal on the ticket there. If you're in the Denver, Colorado area, I'd love to see you at Fusion Rally delivering a keynote. Some of the smartest agents will be in the room. These are agents that have really like growth mindset, big business. A lot of like leaders and operators are going to be in this room. If you're looking to grow your business, go to the Fusion Rally, Denver, October 24th. I'll be delivering a keynote. We'll get to hang out and say hello there. All right, there's your hot sheet. BAMX members, 3 o'clock today. That's Eastern time. Live audits for your social with Bobby Kowecki, head of BAM, and Eric, the broke agent. So 2 of the BAM team members that create more content, organic content, than anybody in the industry are auditing your profiles today live. That's for BAMX members only, school.com/BAMX. That's your hot sheet for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, toodaloo.